Alrighty, yo, what is going on? Everybody, it's your boy, Mr. DDG94, back with another reaction video. Today, finna react to Reverend Devon was godly. Reverend Devon, thou shalt not kill, thou shalt not steal. Oh boy, Reverend Devon. I remember this time frame. I do. But anyways, though, without further ado, let's get right into it.
Alright, it's the Hawk. I'm enjoying watching back some of the forgotten runs from the Ruthless Aggression era, so that's what we're going to be doing today. Shove it if you don't like it. Personally, out of the Dudley boys, I always found Bubba Ray to be the better one. He had a fun moveset, a more fleshed out character, and he handled most of the promos for the team. Which is why I always found it strange that Devon was the one who went on a singles heel run first. But his Reverend Devon gimmick would actually be a good fit, as Devon is the son of a preacher. After losing a match to Billy and Chuck in March 2002, the Dudleys were forced to be separated and they were traded to separate brands. This was a pretty big moment. It felt like the end of an era after the Dudleys had been cornerstones of the tag division for 3 years. Kind of a weird time in the division, as Edge and Christian had broken up half a year before this and the Hardys a few months after this. It was like all of our childhoods were ending.
Pretty much.
Even as a kid, I couldn't believe it and I wondered what would happen to the solo Dudley boys. I was actually pretty sad about them breaking up. Vince McMahon loves religious gimmicks and he wanted the Dudleys to split up. Bruce Pritchard thought the split was a great idea too, as they could both cut good promos and expected success for both Dudleys in a singles capacity. But I can't help but feel that we got a very jarring gimmick change for Devon. He became Vince McMahon's personal preacher and Devon got to show off lots of versatility with his promos. This style came very naturally to him. And by the way, if you know a wrestler who could do the Joby to the HAWK, shove their name down in the comments, Jack! Alright, it's Reverend Devon. Was he better off gone? Match 1, Reverend Devon, who is accompanied to the ring by a young Deacon Batista. Devon cuts a promo introducing Batista and says it's his job to protect the collection box and also protect Devon. And he takes on the game Triple H. Hunter smacks Devon down time and time again. This might not go long after a bat body drop and a spinebuster. Devon does manage to reverse an Irish whip and he picks Triple H up with a stun gun and then a clothesline for a 2 count. Devon launches the game out of the ring so Batista can get physically involved. The Deacon's beating gets Devon a 2 count. The pastor keeps going with a diving middle rope smack for another 2. The game is busted open. Devon looks to fly again but misses his diving headbutt. Devon gets floored by a neckbreaker. Triple H tries to get a steel chair.
And then Chris Jericho came out.
The ref is distracted by the chair in the ring as Triple H looks for the pedigree.
Yep, Chris Jericho
rushes to the ring and hits Triple H with the collection box. And when the ref turns around, wow, Devon Dudley just pinned Triple H. Look, I knew there was gonna be interference here, but Triple H went down a lot easier than expected. A pretty good debut. It accomplished a lot and not many people were pinning Triple H at this time. It's a B for the debut match. Match 2, Reverend Devon vs Maven. It feels like a bit of a step down. Devon starts with a snapmare into an elbow drop. He keeps going with a slam but misses his middle rope elbow drop. Maven gets a 2 on a small package down and another 2 on a schoolboy. And he gets a third 2 from a DDT. It's not looking good after Maven hits a German suplex. Batista quickly distracts the ref and Devon takes advantage of a kick to the slash zone and a saving grace finishes off Maven. Batista takes out Al Snow, so our heroes stand tall. This match did feel like a step back. He didn't exactly dominate the rookie here, it's a D. Devon does get to meet Bubba Ray again, and he cements his heel turn when he puts Bubba through a table. Match 3, Reverend Devon, who now has his new music, and it is a low-key banger by the way.
Oh, testify! Please call my name!
This crowd are all over him, and he takes on Rikishi. Devon runs down Rikishi on the mic, talking about how disgusting the man in the thong is. Not a good idea because Rikishi starts smacking him. Devon manages to dodge the ass drop but dumps in his nappy of fear. Rikishi drops in with a belly to belly as Rico comes out to watch the match. Devon kicks Rikishi in the nutsack and hits a big running diving shoulder block. Now Billy and Chuck are here. Rikishi is too fat to be suplexed and Devon puts his back out. Rikishi picks him up for a slam but Batista takes away Rikishi's legs. That gets a 2 count for Devon. Now Devon hits a DDT, which Rikishi no-sells and he gets up and super kicks him. Now there's a botch. Devon thinks it's going to be a flapjack, but Rikishi was actually looking for a 3-quarter net breaker. The Deacon is on the apron now. Rikishi smacks him away and smacks Devon with his ass. This referee is so strong that he prevents Batista
That's
from getting in
Teddy
the ring.
Long.
Just as Rikishi looks to go for the stink face, Rico hits him with a tag belt, and that gives Devon a free. They are bad winners though, and Batista hits a spine buster and steals Devon's taunt. Another win, but I can't help but feel Devon is looking too weak and constantly relying on help. Not a good match, it's an S. Match 4, Battle Royal for the number 1 contendership for the heavyweight belt. I thought this was going to be nothing, but the good Reverend quickly eliminates Farouk. Devon wants to beat on Triple H again, but the game sidesteps his punch and Devon is eliminated. Well, that didn't take long. 1 elimination for the Dudley Boys, so it's a very low D. The match is won by Triple H and Hogan. Match 5, Devon delivers a promo about masturbation being a sin. You gotta know Vince McMahon was loving this. That's gonna get you some serious heat from wrestling fans too.
Oh, and tonight's sermon has to deal with masturbation. What? Masturbation, that's a sin. And each and every one of you masturbators will surely burn in hell. The Reverend Devon used to partake in that, but no more. Leave that thing alone.
Oh, you don't masturbate no more. Well, guess what, man? I do.
Hey,
He takes
yo.
on Farouk, who is confused about how Devon gets pleasure. Farouk admits that he is a wanker, and the match begins. It goes 8 seconds. Farouk hits a spine buster and Devon is done. He even takes out Batista. Well, I guess Devon's push is over and he's just a comedy act now. It's a D because the promo actually did make me laugh. Match 6, tag match. Reverend Devon and Deacon Batista versus Farouk and Randy Orton. Devon will start with the young Randy Orton. It doesn't start well as Orton hip tosses and arm drags him and hits a side slam for a 2. Devon manages to come out of a dropkick and a spinning back elbow. He tries for a while to hit a middle rope suplex now, which Randy fights off and hits a diving bulldog. Farouk has the tag and he destroys Devon with a back body drop and a powerful snap slam. Devon does manage to slip out of the Dominator and he plants Farouk with a DDT. Devon seems to be actively avoiding tagging in the Deacon. Devon misses his top rope diving headbutt and Orton has the tag. He flies with a beautiful crossbody for a 2. Make a tag, Devon. No. He's hit with a dropkick now. Batista does force his way into the ring with a blind tag. Orton immediately drops him on the ropes, but Batista no-sells that and takes Randy's head off. It's a fun beating from Batista where he looks genuinely scary and he beats Orton with the spine buster. Pretty nice match here where Devon did a fair bit of wrestling and Batista got some good build. It's a C from the Hawk. Match 7, tag match. Deacon Batista and Reverend Devon versus Randy Orton and Val Venus. It's funny, Batista doesn't look so impressive when he stood next to Val Venus. I'm not saying he looks better than Batista, but he doesn't get enough credit for his hard work in the gym. Batista seems to have the handle on this match, but tags in Devon against Venus. Devon hits the spinning reverse back elbow, but can't follow it up with anything with Val Venus firing up. Venus hits a slam into a knee for a 2 count. Orton joins the match, and this guy's getting some really good reactions considering it's his first year in the company. His dropkick is a thing of beauty. Devon managed to shut Orton down with a net breaker from the second rope. Orton gets back into this one though with a diving bulldog. Val Venus gets the tag and he keeps taking Devon's head off. He destroys Devon with a spinning sit-out powerbomb. Batista has to break up that pin. Randy Orton is in now with a snap slam for another close fall. Just like the last match, Batista makes a blind tag. Orton drops Devon onto the ropes but turns around into a Green Bay plunge from Batista. Randy misses a dive now, and for the second match in a row, Batista beats Orton with a spine buster. A very nice match. Nice to see some new moves and all of these guys look like killers. It's a B. Match 8, tag match. Deacon Batista and Reverend Devon versus Randy Orton and Mark Henry. Devon starts this one with Randy. The Dudley Boy jumps him from behind. It doesn't help and Orton hits his beautiful dropkick. Batista breaks up his 10 punches in the corner and Devon throws him on top of the ring pole. That was random, but kinda cool. Later on, Mark Henry starts dominating Devon. He hits a back body drop and a snap slam. Henry squashes Devon in the corner and then whips Devon into Orton's diving crossbody. Wow, that was a crazy move. Not sure how it isn't the finish. Batista makes his famous blind tag and they double shoulder tackle Mark Henry to little to no effect. Henry smacks them back down, but eventually Batista catches him with a Green Bay plunge to calm him down. The Deacon Batista beats Henry with a spine buster. Wow, I never expected to actually enjoy this team so much. Batista is rising up the rankings every week and Devon is, he's looking competent. And I'm enjoying his work in the ring. It's a C. How are they not getting a shot at the tag belts, by the way? Match 9, singles match. Reverend Devon versus Val Venus. The Nappy Man pinballs Devon around the ring for a while. He hits the slam into the knee drop for a 2. Devon just can't get going as he runs into a boot to the face and Venus crossbodies them out of the ring. Back in the ring, Devon is on top with a back elbow. He keeps going for snap mirror into a neck snapper for a 2. Devon seems determined to try and hit dives in every match in this video, and this time he misses a middle rope elbow drop.
Damn.
Venus looks to finish him off with a fisherman suplex, but Batista breaks up the pin before Hardcore Holly takes him out. Venus beats Devon with a spinning set-out powerbomb. Man, talk about a loss of momentum. It's clear at this point that they don't care about Devon anymore, and this is simply designed as a way to make Deacon Batista look good. By the way, I had it in my mind that most of these matches ended after people got smacked out with the collection box, but that doesn't really seem to be happening. It's a D. Match 10, Rikishi versus Reverend Devon. Devon looks like a complete jobber at this point. He does manage to avoid the ass drop, but Rikishi launches him out of the ring onto Batista. Pretty cool spot. On the way back into the ring, Batista grabs Rikishi's leg, so Devon can hit the leg drop. Back outside again, and Devon smashes Rikishi into the steps. Devon now starts ripping the barricade apart and smashes Rikishi into it. Back in the ring now, and Devon actually manages to nail his diving leg drop, but it's just a 2. Devon isn't done though, and he cuts off Rikishi's comeback with an elbow to the face. And once again, Devon flies, but somehow his head ends up in Rikishi's ass crack. Devon is rightfully disgusted by that. Rikishi destroys him with a Samoan drop, which I'm completely okay with, and a DDT. Rikishi starts dragging Devon to the corner. He quickly super kicks Batista away and finishes off Devon with a bonsai drop. I enjoyed this match, but I think this run is showing just how important wins and losses are. They had momentum, and now they look like jobbers and bad losers. Devon does actually manage to properly hit his diving headbutt after the match. What is this video? Devon Dudley the High Flyer? I guess he feels closer to the Lord up there. It's a C. Fun match. Match 11. Reverend Devon versus the world's strongest man, Mark Henry. Batista tries to trip Henry from the outside, but comically, Devon fails to take advantage. Henry chokes Devon above his head and throws him into the corner. Mark Henry bashes him down time and time again, leaving Devon on the ropes, where Henry crashes down on his back and out of the ring. Moments later, Devon suddenly wakes up and uses his quickness. He actually gets a knockdown on a clothesline. Devon randomly does a double stomp, but his next double stomp is blocked. Henry slowly beats Devon up and hits the back body drop. Devon does manage to slip out of a power slam, but moments later, Henry drops him on his head from a flapjack.
Ooh.
Randomly, Mark Henry hits a super kick. I can't really remember him doing these, and the power slam ends the match for Henry. It's official. Reverend Devon is going nowhere. He doesn't seem to even have any storylines. All they do is attack their opponents after they lose the match. Fun match, but Devon did almost nothing. It's a D. And they are already teasing a breakup too after Devon inadvertently cost Batista a match. Match 12, tag match, Rikishi and John Cena versus Reverend Devon and Deacon Batista. They are now partners who don't get on. Devon orders Batista out of the ring so he can start with Cena. The Reverend is all fired up and he smacks Cena time and time again. Rikishi takes a cheap shot to turn the match and now he's in. Devon dodges an ass drop but runs straight into a scoop slam. Rikishi hits a leg drop. Wrestling logic for you, that should really finish Devon off, but no, he's straight back up. He smacks Rikishi down and tells Batista, that's how you do it, and then he tags him in. Batista instantly one-ups him. After a while, Devon rushes the ring trying to break up a stink face, but smashes into his own partner. Rikishi instantly flows him overhead. Once again, Devon wakes up and stops a stink face attempt. Devon isn't finished and manages to clothesline Rikishi down. All he can do is scream at Rikishi, who DDTs him in response. Rikishi ends up giving Devon a stink face, and Batista doesn't even save him. What a dick. The match breaks down and Devon hits the saving grace on Cena. Not seen that move as much as I expected. Devon rightfully gets in Batista's face for not breaking up the stink face. He pays for it as Batista grits his teeth and dumps in his nappy of rage and hits a spinebuster to Devon. He walks out on the match too as Rikishi hits the bonsai drop for the 3. Okay, that was actually a really nicely executed angle. Can we now have a pay-per-view match between Devon and Batista? It's a B from the Hawk. Match 13. John Cena. Wow, people are going nuts for this kid and he doesn't even have a gimmick yet. He takes on Reverend Devon. I don't expect this one to last long, and it sure doesn't start well. Cena drop kicks him and throws his face into the mat. Big Match John gets overzealous though and crashes into the corner so Devon can hit a net breaker. Devon keeps grabbing Cena's eyelashes. Devon Dudley managed to get a 2 off a suplex into an elbow drop. Back on their feet, he sends Cena running and gets another 2 off a snap slam. Now it's a jawbreaker from the good Reverend. Didn't expect to see him get so much in this match. Suddenly, Cena slips out of a slam and hits a twisting fisherman suplex. The momentum is now all on Cena's side. Cena hits a falling over inverted atomic drop, but apparently Devon doesn't have a nutsack as he hits the back elbow straight away. Devon wants to follow it with the diving headbutt, but unfortunately misses that move. Cena starts doing 10 punches in the corner when Devon drops his nutsack on his knee. And wow. Reverend Devon hits the saving grace for the 3. Devon Dudley holds a pinfall victory over Cena without any help. That's quickly forgotten about though as Batista storms the ring and powerbombs Devon. You know what? A very fun match and a surprising outcome. It's a B from the Hawk. Not sure where this is going now though. Is Devon's push back on or what? Match 14. Reverend Devon versus Batista. Just like that? Why? What a waste. Devon jumps in before the bell while screaming that he was the one who made Batista. It doesn't help and Batista choke bombs him. Devon dumps in his collar with fear and bails from the ring. The ref gets distracted by a chair as Devon smacks Batista with a different chair. In the ring, he hits an elbow drop for a 2. Batista just wakes up and then he powerbombs Devon to beat him in under 2 minutes. What a complete waste of time. I was never expecting Devon to actually beat him, but this thing has lasted a few months. Why not have a pay-per-view match? And why have Devon beat Cena in the last match? None of it really makes any sense. It's an S. And game over. Devon was taken off telly for only 4 episodes of SmackDown before starting a new, completely random tag team with Farouk, which didn't last long either. Nice botch by the WWE production team here, by the way. 8 months after the Dudley Boys were broken up, they found their ways back to each other. Well, that was actually much better than I expected. I often hear people dumping on the Reverend Devon gimmick, but it wasn't actually bad. There were some very entertaining promos in there.
So I need a benefactor. I need somebody to provide my way for those sinners. Oh, I need somebody to help me testify. If I'm not mistaken, it says Adam and Eve, not Adam and Steve.
Devon was much more effective in the ring than I expected too. He got some good victories against the likes of Triple H and John Cena, and Batista came out of this looking like a killer. I think this team really helped build him up. This should have gone on for a bit longer and at least had a pay-per-view match between Batista and Devon, and that really is my only gripe with this run. Devon has blamed the failure of his character on Paul Heyman, who took over the writing from Bruce Pritchard. He said that Paul Heyman just didn't understand a black preacher character. Now, when it comes to his final grade, wow, it was actually much better than I thought. He did get several B grades in here, so I think if we average it out, a C is fair. And if you don't like it, preach. I'm going to treat your girl like a leech.
Okay. But anyway, so let's just go about do it for this one. I didn't really get too much into his character. I remember the promos for sure, but the matches I didn't care for. Like the promos was just good enough for me. Every time his matches came on, I wasn't really paying attention. But anyway, so I'm just gonna about do it for this one, man. I will see you all in the next video. Till then, peace out.